Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. I'm Big Ten Network Student U wrestling analyst Eric Kolnowski, and we'd like to welcome four-time NCAA All-American, 2014 Pan Am champion, 2016 Olympic hopeful, and the Minnesota Gophers admin assistant coach Zach Sanders. Zach, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Not bad, thank you. You just took up half our time with your credentials, but I like it. So let's get right into things. How are things going with you?
Going pretty good. Just continuing to train. Got the Storm Holiday Cup coming up next weekend in Rochester, Minnesota. So feeling really good for that. I honestly haven't felt this good since I competed last at Pan Am. So I'm ready to go.
So right now you're wrestling, like you just said. You're coaching on the side, and you're also still going to school.
Yep. I'm currently in grad school here at the University of Minnesota. Not like some semesters I don't take classes, depending upon if I'm going to travel too much. And some semesters, I try to get as much done as I can. But right now, after this semester, I'll have 9 credits left, and then I'll have my master's. So,
okay,
just another little token in the bag, I guess.
Absolutely. And so you said you're wrestling next week. Do you expect to stay at 57? Is that where you're wrestling next week?
Yep, pretty comfortable there. Honestly, I didn't like the weight change. I would have rather had it a little lower. But, since the weight went from 55 to 57, I've worked pretty hard, got a lot stronger, and just kind of learned how to train a little bit different. J-Rob always says that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I really had to figure out what I needed to do and just to keep up with the weight change and stuff like that. But I'm feeling really good, feeling strong, feeling explosive. So I'm ready.
And so you just said you have 9 credits left. After you finish those 9 credits, because your Olympics are coming up in 2016, so are you going to look to stay at Minnesota for the Olympics and continue to train, or are you going to try and transfer your training schedule somewhere else?
Yeah, right now, I'm most comfortable here. I got a lot of great partners. I don't know if there's another room in the country with the partners that I got that are willing to wrestle and stuff like that with each other. So I got great partners, and I'm just very comfortable here. I kind of got a plan down what I need to get better at, and Jared Lawrence is my coach. So now it's but more about fine tuning things. I'm at the highest level. I beat good guys. I've beat everybody pretty much. I just got to do it in the same day and stuff like that. So continuing to improve, but also kind of finding a routine where it's easier to improve.
Right. Kind of a side note off things. I was watching a couple of your matches, and I ran across a highlight tape. It's 115,000 hits on YouTube. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I've seen it. That was from high school. It's been up there for a while.
Yeah, but that's still insane. 115,000 people have watched that.
I honestly think there's a lot more, and it got taken down for copyright, but then it got posted back up. So,
oh my gosh. All right, so let's jump to you guys as a team. Minnesota, you're coaching now. You guys are hunting, or you're in the hunt for a national title, 1 or 2 in all of the rankings, depending on what ranking you look at. It's you guys in Iowa, 1 and 2. You're coming off a championship as a team at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invite. But your job as a coach is not to look at the wins. You guys as coaches are supposed to look at the things that your wrestlers need to do better. As a coach, do you just mainly focus with the 25 and 33 pounders?
Yeah, that's who I roll around with, obviously. But if I see someone needs a little help with something, and it's an area that I think I could help them, I'm not afraid to say something. But then again, it's I'm dealing with the light guys a lot more. Those are the guys who I practice with and stuff like that. Even at my club practices, I'll pull them in, and then afterwards I'll work with them a little bit of what I think they need to work at, stuff like that. But yep, mostly the light guys, and we got a big group of light guys here right now. I wish we'd have had this many 25s and 33 pounders when I was in college for partners, but it's a solid group, and they're willing to work hard, and they're fun to be around. So.
And some of those guys that you have, Ness, you got Thorne, you, and if I'm not mistaken, you have Mango, one of the Mangos, right?
Yep. Ryan Mango is training at Minnesota now with the Minnesota Training Center for Greco, and he helps out. He's an administrative assistant also, and kind of cool. We get to like wrestle once a week together about, and it's I think it'll help me a lot and it'll help him a lot. So
Yeah, I think that's you two together, man. That's pretty dangerous. So, one of the concerns I had as an analyst looking over wrestling was for your team in specific was those guys, mainly the Dardanes brothers, coming down from their weight classes last year and going to a lower weight class in that second day, because the second day is always a little more uh, a little more tough to make the weight class. So how do you think those guys are handling it? Obviously, it showed that they're ready to do it, but do you think they're doing the right things to maintain their weight for that second day?
yeah. Sorry, someone's in the background. But anyway, yeah, for sure. I mean, they're very dedicated to the sport and they know what they need to do, to reach the next level and especially dropping down a weight. They cut weight better than anyone I think I've ever seen. They can sweat easy. I mean, they do a good job of eating really healthy. I mean, they're just big people for their weight class. So, I mean, a lot of extra stuff needs to go into that. Early in the week, they need to have their weight under control versus yo-yoing up and down. And I mean, they know what they're doing. They've done it before, and so I mean, they're just tough people and they can handle it. So it kind of showed at the Cliff Keen. I was worried myself, not gonna lie, but I mean, they showed that it doesn't really matter for them.
Right. Um, Another side note, for the Big Ten U Student U broadcasting, you guys have a great program there at Minnesota. I mean, you guys have a tremendous following for your attendance as it is. So it's only fitting that you guys have some of the best Student U broadcasters in the country. Mac Ryder, if I'm not mistaken, is one of them.
Yep, Mac Ryder, Gordon Beershank, they do a great job for us, and they're we got a visitor.
How's it going?
Good.
Dropping in on the show. Yes, they're. I was watching the Michigan State Minnesota duel, and it was those guys know. Of course, they know what they're talking about, but you have great wrestlers that can't, that can't talk their way out of a paper bag. So those guys know exactly what they're talking about. Very well spoken. So that's pretty good for you guys as a program. I know it's Friday night, so I don't want to keep you too long. Let's jump into a couple quick fire questions, and then we'll get you out of here. Who is the toughest person that you ever wrestled in college?
Whew. Honestly, the toughest guy I think I've ever wrestled in college was probably Jason Ness. I mean, he was just, granted, it wasn't a competition match, but oh man, I remember being a red shirt and just getting put through the fire, man. He used to whoop the crap out of me. So I thank him for that, and I think it made me a better wrestler. But I mean, I've wrestled plenty of good guys in competition. Like every Big Ten guy was tough as nails, and at
Right.
nationals, there's a lot of those guys over and over again. I mean, I think I lost to Matt McDonough and Angel Escobedo for most of my college losses. I think I wrestled them like every year and multiple times. So
Yeah, my brother wrestled at University of Missouri, and he wrestled Jason Ness one duel, and he said he is the toughest kid that we were talking about this. It was probably 3 or 4 days ago, and he said Ness halved him, and he didn't know what happened. He like woke up, and his coaches were just shaking their head. Ness threw my brother's feet over his head and stuck him, and my brother's like, I've never been stuck in my life, but I don't know how he did it, but.
So, I've been in that same exact position before. It's weird. He'd like lift you up and like throw you straight over the top with a half Nelson. And then you're flat on your belly, right over your head.
All right. So who would you say if there's one guy where, I'm not saying you don't take practice seriously every day, but as say you're wrestling John Smith and that's your arch nemesis and you train harder than you ever than you do, who would be your arch nemesis, that person that you get really excited to wrestle the week before?
Yep. Honestly, I'd have to say it would be Matt McDonough again. I mean, we wrestled. I bet we wrestled close to 10 times. I don't even know for sure, but every time it was a hard fought match, and he got the better of me. But I try to continue to improve, and it's not over yet. I'm gonna probably see him around a few more times, but at the same time, it was, if it was the week of the match, I probably didn't do as much as I should have. I probably did the right thing. I was probably more relaxed and probably tried to taper a little bit more and
Hmm.
keep my body fresh for the actual match. So,
And a
but yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
those duels had more than just individual implications on them. With you guys in Iowa always competing as a team too. So
yeah, yep. The atmosphere in those matches is probably the craziest places I've been. Is Hawkeye Arena and our place when we battle those guys. A lot of good fans on both sides, and they're not afraid to yell stuff at you. I think I even had a couple guys throw stuff at me when I was at Carver Hawkeye Arena one time. So,
that was actually my next question. Was the best atmosphere in the country besides Minnesota? Would you say it would be Carver?
oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt. So it's awesome to wrestle there. Honestly, I mean, everybody should get that chance to wrestle in the atmosphere like that. That's why it's important to try and improve and grow the sport a little bit because it's honestly second to none what I've seen. So it's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, they have. On one of the earlier episodes, I did a review of Iowa State versus Iowa, and I said old women walking with canes having to be escorted to their seats. They'll beat you with their cane if they have an opportunity
Yeah,
to.
seriously. I remember getting into a fight with a fan my senior year right behind the bench. He was yelling stuff in my ear, and I just lost, so I wasn't a happy camper, but I got separated from him, so nothing happened.
That's funny. So, what would be you? I mean, you've had a lot of highlights of your career. Obviously, you've had a lot of great matches wrestling at Minnesota. What would be one highlight that you'll never forget?
Um, Honestly, my whole senior year was a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't get to where I wanted in the top step at nationals, but I mean, we had the best performance as a team since I've been here, and it was pretty special to see the young guys step up, and then the veterans that I, grew up with pretty much. We're all on the team together, and we came away with second due to Penn State's large bonus points. But I mean, the whole year was a blast, and I went out with third place, which was my highest finish, and it was a crazy match in itself. But I mean, it felt good, but at the same time, it was a little saddening to my heart, but it was awesome. So.
Right. All right. And this is a little off topic of wrestling, but I always like to ask this question to people. So the answer for me for this question, well, let's get to the question first. If you never wrestled a day in your life and you had an opportunity, a full scholarship to go anywhere in the country for academics or anything like that, where would you go? For me, it would be either University of Florida, Texas, or University of Oregon. Where would you go?
And that's a tough question. Um, Probably someplace warm. I'm not going to say a school with wrestling because I don't want people to think that they should go there. No, I don't know. It's a good question. Probably something like maybe Southern California, San Diego. That area is awesome. I just think it's pretty. The weather's perfect. I mean, somewhere in like San Diego, I thought would be awesome. So.
Okay. All right. And I know I said quick fire will be the last thing to get out of here, but I've noticed a lot with All Force going on. You have
Yep.
you have it on your Twitter page and everything. What's that all about?
Oh yeah, Danny Silverberg and David Silverberg actually they own the nutrition supplement company All Force, and they were wrestlers, Big Ten wrestlers, and awesome people, teammates of mine, and they work really hard, and they're passionate and dedicated to what they do, and they're just trying to make a supreme product to everyone else, and it's just trying to represent them. They have some sponsors that they've been giving out to like Tony Nelson, Dustin Schlater, myself, um, Coleman Scott recently. I know I'm forgetting people. I'm sorry,
Oh,
but
that's all right.
just John Reeder and one more guy. I can't think right now, but anyway, yeah. So that's what we're doing right now, and just trying to get it started and trying to help them out, and they're doing a pretty good job now. I mean, the Minnesota Christmas Tournament, the toughest tournament in Minnesota, they sponsor that too. So it's the All Force Minnesota Christmas Tournament for high school, and that's pretty cool. I mean, we all wrestled in that growing up, and it was a tough, tough tournament. So it's baby steps, and hopefully they'll be where all the other muscle farms and stuff like that are, fairly soon.
Okay. So tell everybody that's watching where they can follow you on social media.
Yep, you can follow me. Hang on, let me think. I don't even know my Sanders Zach at no. How does that work? Sanders. I don't even know.
Sanders 55.
I don't even know. Is it bad? I don't even know my Twitter. I changed it a couple times. I think it's
muscle milk for life.
I think it's Sanders Zach.
Oh my
Sanders
gosh.
Zach, at Sanders Zach. I'm pretty sure.
Hold on,
But,
let me look it up for you.
But
Because you have the link to I noticed in your bio you have the link for the All Force.
Yep.
Okay, so if you want to there's
Yep.
so many Zach Sanders in this world. Could your parents
Wait, what just popped up?
It's Sanders Zach.
So I just figured out my Instagram. It is ZSanders57.
Okay, so they can
the
follow
help
you
of
on
my friends
Instagram at ZSanders57 and on Twitter it's at Sanders Zach. And make sure you guys go check out the allforcenutrition.com posted on Zach Sanders' bio on his Twitter page.
Yep.
And make sure you guys subscribe on iTunes to the College Wrestling Review. That's been it for the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. Make sure you go check out the newest updated rankings done by JJ Johnson. For Zach Sanders, I've been Eric Wanowski. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for having me.